Neighbors. Where would she be right now? I often wonder in my heart. What would she think of growing older and her body falling apart? I think of that with a gentle smile, and then the sadness takes its place. It feels so unfair that she's not here, and I ask you, Lord, for grace. Give me mercy not to question you, for you are the author of us all. It wasn't your design when you created us. Death came in with the fall. It just still feels so unfair, and 12 years later, we still miss her. She was an amazing person, a daughter, mother, cousin, friend, and sister. I imagine her beside the river of life, waiting for each of us to join her there. As her grandmother crossed through the gates, I'm sure she couldn't help but stare, in complete and utter wonder at the beauty stored up for those that believe. I know the Lord sent Susie to go ahead of us all, and it was her job to receive. "Grandma, over here, come on, it's me, Sue," she probably said as our grandma entered in. "Take my hand and I'll introduce you to him. He's the one who redeemed us from sin." "Susie, this place is beautiful. You sure have a lovely gown. Oh, and look at that upon your head. Is that a golden crown?" She smiled as she walked with her and introduced her to the others who were there. As Grandma looked around in wonder and reached out to touch Susie's shining hair, a crowd had formed around them as they made their way to the throne. And then it began to part as the king came to welcome her home. Susie stood there and wept as her grandma for the first time knelt down and heard, "Well done, good and faithful servant." His voice was the sweetest sound. "Lord, my mother weeps for me still, and I want her tears to stop." Jesus replied, "Soon my Father will nod for the angels, and the curtain will finally drop. But I hear the weeping in the night, and I say, 'Stop that, you weepers.' In a minute my Father will say, 'Arise from the dust, you sleepers.'" They walked into the city, the famous streets paved with gold. Our grandmother turned to Susie and said, "Be glad that you didn't grow old." "Oh, Susie, it was awful. Your bones and joints out of whack. You hurried up and got it over with that day of the brutal attack." Susie turned to her and smiled. "That is all over now. It's time to put it away. Come on, dear sister. There's so much to see and so many things to say." That's how I imagine it when I feel grieved because of their both being gone. But it seems to me that the loss of Susie was just a little extra wrong. She was stolen from this earth too soon, and I sigh but still stand in faith. Soon, oh soon, we will be together, and we don't have much time left to wait. Yes, they are up there walking by the river, granted rest from their earthly labors. In the earth they sleep side by side as they wait for his shout, "Once again, neighbors." For Susan Grandma, Tammy Porter via the Holy Spirit, for Susie's 12-year memorial, and Grandma's first, 2/27/20.